Joining me now is Karen Kain. Hi, Karen.
Hello.
Evelyn Hart was on the program recently, and Valerie asked her what she was most proud of, and she said just the fact that she had been able to keep up dancing. The regimen was so difficult. Is it the same thing with you? Do you have a sense that, you've been doing this since you were 11?
Yes. It's very difficult. I think I notice it more as I get a little older, too, that it's just tougher and tougher. When you're 21, you have so much energy, you just come bounding in every day. But after 30, it really takes discipline because you'd rather rest some days than work so hard.
Have you ever had a really bad injury? Like, is your body telling you that you've been dancing since 11?
I have been very, very fortunate. I think of all the dancers I know, I've had fewer injuries. But I get a lot of minor irritations, little tendinitis in the ankle. I've had neck injuries. I think I've probably had the most pain with my neck. Just sort of whiplash, only I get it from dancing instead of car accidents. But I've learned how to look after myself, and I think that I'm very aware of the warning signs when I'm overworking or something. Then I pull back a bit and give myself a chance to rest.
Well, dancers probably more than almost anybody else in this society know their bodies.
Yes.
And know when to stop, what to eat, when to rest.
Well, young dancers don't always know when to stop and what to eat and when to rest. I think that's something you learn with experience, just from getting injuries and knowing that what happens when you do push yourself too hard. It doesn't actually always make you better when you rehearse 8 hours a day. Sometimes it makes you feel worse, and you don't do as well in the performance, which is, what you're aiming for.
Can you tell me about the need for this transition center? Because I think it's the only one in North America.
I read recently that the Americans are starting one. They're jumping on the bandwagon, but we were first. There is one in England. They have something called, I forget what it's called, but it does the same sort of thing for dancers. It's just, I felt there was a big need for it because even from the time I was in the ballet school, I've seen a lot of people suffer when they found out that they couldn't become dancers or that their bodies were not suited or that, some injury happened or that they were just too old. And when you're 40 and you're too old, it's pretty hard to accept.
Well, even 35 sometimes.
Yeah, even 25 sometimes people get serious injuries. And,
but wait, is it because dancers have to put the blinders on, in your case, at 11, in some cases even younger than that, and really not pay attention to anything else?
Well, in order to be good at it, and it may be the same for a lot of things, in order to be really good at it, there isn't really time for anything else. And you sleep dance, you eat dance, and you dream dance, and that's all there is for you. And then when, the shock of it being taken away is really terrible for some people. Hopefully, people think ahead and think, what'll I do? What am I suited for? What can I find that can replace dancing for me when I no longer have it? But most dancers don't do that. They refuse to accept the fact that someday they won't be able to dance.
Well, I think that may be true in a lot of professions, though.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that people don't generally plan ahead. But it's different because when you think of, it's different with the ballet, because when you think of hockey players or football players or well-paid baseball players, they have a huge bank account.
At least
when
they
decide
have
to
financial security. Dancers have no financial security. That's a very big problem. And hopefully the center, we have what we call an award program where dancers who meet all the criteria, who have belonged to the center for a while and things like that, can apply for an award to retrain in some other field so they can go back to school. So we're providing that. We're also providing psychiatric counseling if people are severely depressed, which can happen, maybe even for a month or two, but they need someone to talk to.
That depression is caused by simply not having those blinders on anymore and suddenly sort of being overwhelmed by...
Well, I think really truly believing that there's nothing else in the whole world that can give you back what you got from dancing. There's nothing that'll make you happy again, They really believe that. And there are lots of, other wonderful walks of life for people, but they need time to open their eyes a little bit more and look a little further and find something that interests them.
Do you feel sad when you see a performance of yours, say, 10 years ago or 12 years ago, and you say, oh, I can't do that quite the same way? Or
no, actually, I haven't reached that point yet. I'm sure that will happen where physically I'll feel, oh, I can't do those things anymore. But physically, I still feel that I can almost do more than I could when I was younger. And I also feel that I have just more artistic sides to me than I had when I was young.
Well, a review of your recent work said that you had really come out now, that you were more willing to be Karen Kain, the person. Does that make sense to you, that before
Well,
sort of...
I have more confidence in my abilities, I think, than I ever had when I was young. So I feel that I'm in my prime at the moment, which is wonderful. But I know that the day will come where I'll look and I'll think, oh, well, I used to be able to do that, but I can't do that anymore. My body just won't do it. And I suppose I'll be a little sad, but then I just saw Makarova dance at 45. And physically, she couldn't do lots of things that younger dancers can do. But emotionally, it was really overwhelming to see what she did with the role.
Would you want to go on for another 11 years?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Well, it's a tremendous work, and I think it says a lot about you that you would get involved, because you are at the top, right? But you've seen a lot of dancers.
Well, I've had a lot of friends that have gone through it, and I've seen people suffer. And I've never known exactly what to say to them or how to help them, and now I know that there's somewhere they can go and they can be helped.
Well, good luck and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Same
Karen.
to you.